Hello, hello. 2nd of September. This is a poem stroke story going to be read out. It's quite long. It's called The Letter to Joe. I saw a letter on the doorstep. The postman must have left it behind. It said return to sender. This person I must try to find. Looking at the postmark, it seemed many miles away. So off I go on my journey, travelling all day. I should have dropped it in the box to save me from this trip. But I was just curious. Well, maybe just a bit. I found the address on Google Maps. Down a very long narrow lane. As I walked up to the door, it suddenly started to rain. On opening the door was this little old lady, not knowing what to say. Told her I'm returning her letter, then I'll be on my way. She looked confused and asked me in, made a smashing pot of tea, then very slowly tore the envelope and started to show me. The letter inside was from years ago, sent to this man called Joe. She loved him when he was a Navy man, but to war he had to go. The address I lived at was his old, where he grew up from being a lad. Said she thought he might still live there, but you could see she was very sad. No, my dear, I now live there. Been there for a few years now. Not sure where this Joe lives, but I'm sure I can find out somehow. Did he return from the Second World War, or did he marry some other lady? As the tears filled up in her eyes, she looked at me and said, maybe. I loved him when he was 17. Just a boy turning to a man. He promised me he'd return one day. Then the war began. So I sent the letter in distant hope, thinking he was at the same address. I'm sorry you've had a wasted journey and I've caused you some distress. Would you like another cuppa before your journey back home? Just to be polite, I said yes. I didn't want to leave her on her own. This poor little old lady still believed he would return and take her hand. But the war happened and changed the path, put a dampener on their plans. She carried hope inside her heart and a dream one day he would come. So I finished my tea and said goodbye. I'm sorry, but I must be gone. My journey home was very different. I felt sad for the dear old soul. She'd waited all these years, but never reached her goal. Joe could be living in another town, or he could have died in the war. The poor old lady with the broken heart will love him forevermore. I kept the address of the little old lady. I wrote to her most every week, just to reassure her she's not alone and the comfort that she seeks. That day the letter landed on my doorstep, it changed the way I now feel. That for over 80 years gone by, that this little old lady's love was real. Joe would have been a lucky man, but to be honest, probably didn't even know. I'm glad I met this little old lady, having a cuppa and talking about Joe. Thank you. This will be on my YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram. Please feel free to like, follow, subscribe, and also the Unknown Voice and Unknown Poet page on Facebook. Thank you.